Dear students, today we are going to start second lecture of Unit 3 of our subject Environmental Studies and Water Quality. Now in this lecture we will basically, in the previous lecture, we saw the importance of intake works, the different components of the intake works. One of the components of intake works is pumping station or pumps. Now first of all, what is the need for pumping? Why do we require pumps? So first of all, we need pumps to lift the raw water from the source of supply. Whatever is the source of supply, may it be a river, may it be a lake, may it be a reservoir, or may it be groundwater. So in order to carry the water, lift the water from those water supply sources to our treatment plant. So we require a pump or a pumping station. Second one is to lift the treated water to overhead tanks. Now we have to lift up the water which has been treated at the treatment plant and supply it to the overhead tank or reservoir tank before it is supplied to the locality. So for that purpose also we need pumps or pumping stations. Then to deliver the treated water to consumer homes so that every home can get water at a suitable pressure. Then to boost the line pressure. During transmission there are energy losses. So the head required is not the same as the head in the line, in the pipeline. So in order to boost up the head in the pipeline or pressure in the pipeline, water pressure, we have to use these pumps. Then to supply water under pressure for firefighting or fire hydrants. Then for miscellaneous operations, for example, for backwashing of filters, that is cleaning of filters. Backwashing is, suppose the direction of movement of water is from A to B during water treatment. Now for backwashing or cleaning the filter, we will move the water from B to A, so that all the impurities, suspended matter, settled matter, they are removed. Then types of pumps. Basically we categorize the type of pump on three bases. First basis is type of power required. What type of power is required for operating these pumps? So on the basis of power required, it is of three types: steam pump, diesel pump and electric pump. The steam pump, if we are using steam as the source of power, then that is called steam pump. If we are using diesel for the source of power, as the source of power, then that is diesel pump. If we are using electricity as a source of power, then that is electric pump. Now based on the type of service, what type of work we want from that pump. So they are categorized as low lift pump, high lift pump, deep well pump and booster pump. What is low lift pump? If the delivery head, if the difference between delivery point and the operating point of pump is not much, then we call those pumps as low lift pump. If the delivery point from where to where up to where we have to lift the water. For example, we have to lift the water up to a service tank or overhead tank, and the difference between overhead tank and the operating point of pump is say for 100 feet or 50 feet. Okay, then that 50 feet, that is the lift. So if this lift is small, then we use low lift pump. If the lift is high, then that is pumps used are high lift pump. Then deep well pumps are basically submersible pumps which are installed in many houses also for getting water from the groundwater. And then booster pumps. Booster pumps are required in order to boost up the line pressure. Suppose water is being transported by means of pump or say by means of gravity, but after a particular distance, say for 100 meter or 500 meter, the line pressure is reducing. So in order to boost up the pressure, we use these types of booster pumps. Now third category is based on the mechanical principle of operation. What is the mechanical principle of operation? On which basis these pumps are operating? Okay. So on that basis, they are classified as four types: positive displacement pump, airlift pumps, centrifugal pump, and hydraulic rams. Now, what are positive displacement pumps? Positive displacement pumps are actually called positive displacement pumps because they contain one or more chambers, one or more cylindrical chambers where cylindrical pistons are installed. And due to the movement of these pistons, on the movement of these pistons, connecting rod, this crank is moving. And since it is connected, this connecting rod is connected to the piston. So piston is also coming back in the backward direction. Due to movement of piston in the backward direction, a suction pressure or a vacuum is created in the delivery pipe. This suction or vacuum, this uplifts the water from the sump well, and this water lifts up to the treatment plant. So this lifting is caused due to the vacuum created or the suction pressure created on account of vacuum being created. Okay. If this piston, whatsoever be the movement of this piston, that correspondingly this water will start to rise. If we want to lift the water, say for up to a head h, and this length L of the piston is not sufficient to lift up to height h, then we will apply an additional chamber. So there may be a single chamber or there may be two chambers on the basis of what head we require, what amount of lift we require. Okay. Then second one is airlift pump or buoyancy pump. This is a very simple pump. What happens here is we pump air into the sump, and that air displaces the water in the sump by means of buoyancy. What is buoyancy? Buoyancy is basically a phenomena where a fluid displaces another on account of its specific weight or specific gravity. Okay. Then centrifugal pumps. Centrifugal pumps are simple. They work on the principle of centrifugal force. What happens basically? Water is entering and then it is going into a circular fashion like this, and then it is just like in a circle. What happens? An outward force is acting. This outward force is centrifugal force. Water is entering from this direction and then it is moving in this circle or in this pump, and then it is moved up in this direction due to this centrifugal force. Okay. In this centrifugal pump, we apply different types of valves. For example, this is a foot valve. What is the purpose of this foot valve? Foot valve ensures two purposes. One purpose is due to a sudden loss of power. If there is lack of power or power goes down, there is no power now, there is no power supply, then the entire water in the pump and even in the delivery pipe, that water will come down to the sump. So this does not allow backflow of water. This does not allow backflow of water. Another thing is that in centrifugal pump, there is a requirement of water always in the pump. Otherwise, air will entrain into this pump. And in order to remove that air from the pump, we need to add additional water from outside, which the process is called priming. So in order to avoid these two things, in order to avoid air entrainment and in order to avoid backflow of water, we apply this foot valve. There are another check valves applied. Check valves are applied in order to obtain the required amount of discharge. What discharge we want, that can be regulated by means of check valves. Then we have hydraulic ramps. Hydraulic ramps are just simple types of pumps. What they do, they obtain water at some level and then deliver it to the other level. Then difference between reciprocating pump and centrifugal pump. On several bases, we can differentiate between reciprocating pump and centrifugal pump. On the basis of discharge, what happens in case of reciprocating pump? The flow is pulsating. That means flow is varying. It is not continuous. And in case of centrifugal pump, there is a continuous flow. Similarly, a constant discharge can be obtained in reciprocating pump even if the head on delivery side varies. Even if the head on the delivery side is not the same always, even then we can obtain a constant discharge. Whereas in centrifugal pump, if the head varies in some, then the discharge is also varying in the pump. Then in reciprocating pump, there are losses due to leakage in valves, and in centrifugal pump, there is no such leakage. On the basis of speed, we can say that in reciprocating pumps operate at low speed, whereas centrifugal pump, they operate at high speed. Efficiency is more in reciprocating pump. It's almost 85% for long stroke engine, whereas in centrifugal pump, it is 40 to 85%. On the basis of head, if we want to operate for high heads, required head is high, then we have to apply reciprocating pump. And if the required head is low, then centrifugal pumps will be used. Size, on the basis of size, naturally reciprocating pumps are bulky, large in size, whereas centrifugal pumps are small. Initial and maintenance cost and running cost are more in case of reciprocating pump, whereas it is low in centrifugal pumps. Now, what is the criteria? There are different criteria for pump selection. Based on the nature of liquid, what type of liquid we want to pump, whether it is raw water or treated water. Then purpose, whether we are going to use it continuously or with some interval or in a cyclic fashion. For example, from 8 to 12 in the morning, 5 to 7 in the evening. Then it depends upon the projected demand. What is the demand of the area? Water demand. Naturally, it will depend upon the population of the area. Then what head, pressure head, and what discharge we want. Then type and duration of availability of power supply. How much power we get, when power is available, at what time power is available, how much power is available. Then pump efficiency and effect on power consumption, how much power it is consuming. Parallel or series connection. What is parallel series connection? If the head we want to achieve by means of pump, if one pump is not capable of achieving that head, then we will apply pumps in series, one after the other. One is pumping up to a level H1, then another is up to H2, then another up to H3. Then different modes of installation, how we are installing. Then ease of operation, how easily can a pump be operated. Then specific speed. Actually, this specific speed is a parameter which defines the efficiency of the pump. More the specific speed, greater will be the efficiency. Actually, this varies like this. Okay. Here is the efficiency. And here is the specific speed. So, as specific speed increases up to a certain level, this goes on increasing. And operating point, that point at which the pump will operate. That means what discharge it will give and what head it will provide. So actually this we obtain by means of pump curve and system head curve.